This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for Friday, October 18th, 2024. I'm Marek Mazurek. Lightsource BP's Honeysuckle Solar Project in St. Joseph County has entered commercial operations with 188 megawatts of new clean energy generation. The project will generate enough energy annually to power 27,000 U.S. homes and reduce carbon dioxide emissions by 204,000 metric tons each year. The $250 million privately funded solar farm utilized 85% local labor. The company has inked a power purchase agreement with Google's $2 billion data center campus in Fort Wayne. Lightsource also announced a power purchase agreement with AEP Energy Partners last year. Inside Indiana Business has previously reported the Honeysuckle project will deliver $30 million in taxes to the local community over the project life. That's in addition to a $3 million economic development payment to St. Joseph County. An article published Thursday by the international newspaper The Guardian takes a close look at practices by Fort Wayne-based Parkview Health that has led to some of the highest healthcare costs in the country. The Guardian's research shows that for 10 of the past 13 years, Parkview hospitals have been among the top 10% most expensive in the country, despite Fort Wayne being ranked by U.S. News and World Report as the country's most affordable place to live. George Joseph, an investigative reporter for The Guardian and co-author of the article, told our partners at WPTA-TV that Parkview was able to buy out its rival hospitals, allowing the health system to raise prices.
They've been able to direct patient flows using referral patterns in order to keep people in the system, and according to our sources, direct them to potentially higher cost procedures and types of healthcare.
Joseph said he's noticed that the vast presence Parkview has when he visited Fort Wayne. Joseph also said he spoke with former and current Parkview employees who noted they had witnessed the health system's practices. Parkview did not respond to requests for comment from both The Guardian and WPTA. From the number one source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Indiana, your bold future starts here. IBJ Media, Inside Indiana Business, and the Indiana Economic Development Corporation invite you to the Engage Indiana series, presented by CareSource, Indiana University, and Old National Bank. With an unrelenting focus on growing Indiana's economy, our Engage Indiana events take place in every region of the state. Discover when we'll be in your area at ibj.com/engage.
AES Indiana says it will remain committed to ending the use of coal at its massive Petersburg generation station despite growing opposition from Republican elected officials and the coal lobby. Officials with the Indianapolis-based utility said in an interview with IBJ this week that they have no interest in delaying the conversion from coal to natural gas at the two remaining units at the Petersburg plant, currently scheduled for the end of 2026. The utility's application to make the change is now pending before the Indiana Utility Regulatory Commission, which could hand down a decision this month. The Petersburg power plant sits about 120 miles southwest of Indianapolis. It's the largest of the utility's 3 generating stations and the only one that still burns coal. Transitioning Petersburg to natural gas would make AES Indiana the first large utility in the state to abandon coal as a fuel source. It was the pursuit of knowledge that inspired Grace Choi's parents to immigrate from South Korea to Indiana to continue their studies, and it seems that same love of learning is in their daughter's blood. Choi was recently named the most outstanding science student in the state as part of the 2024 governor's STEM team. Combined with her deep appreciation for her parents' sacrifices, Grace's ambition has made her an academic dynamo, now reaching new heights at Massachusetts Institute of Technology.
When I was younger, I always wanted to give back to the sacrifices and the unconditional support that my parents had shown me by working and trying my best in whatever endeavors that I wanted to seek for myself.
Each academic year, the governor's office names 4 graduating high school seniors to the STEM team, recognizing exceptional Indiana students. To hear more about Choi's story, head to InsideIndianaBusiness.com. And the Indiana Office of Community and Rural Affairs has awarded grants to 10 communities and organizations through its Building Socially Connected Communities pilot program. The program launched in May and was created to combat isolation and loneliness through projects designed to create social connections, particularly in rural Indiana. The agency said that the average population size of the 10 communities receiving funding is just under 3,000 residents. In total, $200,000 was awarded. A full list of grant recipients can be found at InsideIndianaBusiness.com. From small-town New England to the heart of the Midwest, Indiana Chamber of Commerce CEO Vanessa Cinders is this week's guest on the Business and Beyond podcast hosted by Gary Dick, presented by PNC. A weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports, entertainment, and beyond. Available now from your favorite podcast provider. I'm Marek Mazurek for Inside Indiana Business Radio On Demand.